1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey, welcome back to Country and Cold Cans. I'm Logan, sitting here with Andy and Kyle. This is Country and Cold Cans, brought to you by the Cold Cans Network. That is, make sure you go check out the brand new website, coldcansnetwork.com. We'll be covering music, of course, sports, also a little bit of things, as we like to say on Miserable and Reckless, all things to South, and then a little bit of pro wrestling and classic rock from Classic Rock Carter. He has a brand new article out giving his definition, his thoughts on the idea of what is and what isn't classic rock. So check that out on coldcansnetwork.com. All right, so moving into the Cold Cans weekly rundown, the weekly six-pack we like to say here. First up, just kind of do you guys didn't get to go this year, but just kind of do a little bit of a review on my end of the Roadtrip to Raleigh festival that we talked about a little bit last week on this program. Roadtrip to Raleigh, you know, as is American Aquarium's kind of a yearly homecoming they did 3 shows instead of 2 this year. Not going to spend a lot of time on it, but got to say it was a really, really fun show. After about 3 days, man, I was dead on Sunday. Staying up that late and being at 3 straight concerts, I quickly realized I'm not as young as I used to be. And I was tired yesterday. But the American Aquarium played like 76 songs total. They dove as far back as like some songs from 2007. And up to like some new ones that have yet to be released. But, you know, you can always tell kind of which ones are the quote unquote hits with the crowd. And with it being a Raleigh crowd too, predominantly, there's a lot of like Catherine Bell got a big pop. And so did things like Queen of the Scene and Good Fight. Some of the stuff from like the Dances for the Lonely era that I know that me and Andy both are big fans of, you know, the early American Aquarium.
Yep.
A little bit more than the new stuff. We still like the new stuff, but you know, I like the in your face screw you songs a little bit more than the more introspective stuff.
Didn't he say he was going to play one of the albums, the whole album? Wasn't it Wolves?
Yeah. So Friday night, no. So it was it had been 10 years since Burn Flicker Die had been released, and so Friday night he played the entire record. It wasn't in sequential order as how the record is, but he played every single song in a row from that album. That was really cool to see because some of those songs you just don't get to hear very often. But, you know, a lot of the openers were pretty good too. I'm the one standout for me, and this is just a bias of mine, you know, is Old 97s. That's one of the best live bands in the business. Rhett Miller, look, he's like almost, I think he's like close to 50. He looks like he's 30. God knows, I hope I look like that when I'm that old and have as much hair as he does. But Rhett Miller puts on a show. We have some clips on Instagram and TikTok from their set. You should go check that out. But Old 97s, if you have a chance to go see them, you got to see them. Fantastic band. Definitely one of my favorites. But, you know, all the other openers were good too. I missed a couple on Friday and Saturday due to timing of getting there. I had a buddy of mine come up from Jacksonville and go with me on Saturday, and he didn't get here in time for us to make it to all the openers on Saturday. So unfortunately didn't get to see everybody this year, but you know, that's how it goes sometimes. But I got to say the worst part about the weekend was I stayed in the same spot all 3 nights, right? Different people around me each time, but all 3 nights there was somebody who kept farting every 5 minutes. Like, dude, you'd be sitting there, you'd like reach to like take a sip of your drink, and then it's just like if you open your mouth at the wrong time, disgusting.
Crop dust.
The only thing I can though, but I mean, if the only consistency, you're in the same spot, and the only person that was in the same spot all 3 nights was you.
Yeah, but I don't think that I would have surprised myself.
But you know what they say: whoever smelt it, dealt it.
I wasn't the only one that smelt it. Everybody was commenting on it. We had a few people on top of the farting incident. Like I said, that was just terrible because you're in a small venue with 900 people and you're all cramped together and somebody just keeps crop dusting everybody. Come on, man, take some Pepto. But also we had quite a few folks on a couple of the nights where they would not stop talking. And then there were some hardcore fans that are in like the American Aquarium fan groups that were just taking pictures of them and pretending like it was a selfie and just roasting them online while the concert was going on. It was kind of funny. I was like, I'm not as a big of a hardcore person as like other people are, where you can't say a word during a concert. I think that's a little bit extreme, but you don't need to sit there and talk the entire time, especially on the not as loud songs.
If you're sitting on Facebook roasting somebody during the show, aren't you also not paying attention?
I mean, that's a fair point. I didn't see it, though, until I got home, but I did laugh when I saw it because there was like 2 pictures. He's like, these assholes are still going.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's. I mean, you're kind of there to see the show, not talk to what. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Some people just get really bothered over weird stuff.
They do. I mean, and it's like if it was a rockin' song, you didn't really hear them that much, right? But the slower songs where it's a little bit more acoustic driven, that's where it kind of would bother everybody around them. But you know, at the end of the day, fun weekend, good 3 nights, and you know, a cover that he ended the encore set with on Friday night with, it was BJ, and he brought Adeem the Artist out, and they sang "Should Have Been a Cowboy" by Toby Keith. Dude, that got a huge pop. The crowd was singing word for word. That was a fun one to hear them sing, because I think he covered that on one of his 90s country cover records, Slappers, Bangers, and Certified Twangers. That one was fun to hear. The crowd loved that because, you mean, you know, who doesn't love 90s country? But Andy, that too. But it was a fun 3 nights, great set each and every time. Got to hear, if you come to the Raleigh shows, for folks who have never been to Roadtrip Raleigh, you get to hear a lot of older songs that they don't play as often when they're on the road on their normal tour. So that's kind of one of the benefits of coming to this show. So if you haven't been and you're a big AA fan, you need to come at some point. It's a lot of fun. Get to see a lot of good music, and then you also, you know, gotta have to realize you're not as young as you used to, like I did, and you're going to be dead on that 4th day when you're recovering from the previous 3. But Road Trip to Raleigh, success. Glad to have it back.
After the show, do y'all all like get together and coordinate your Facebook post? Because the 3 people that I'm Facebook friends with that are there all basically post it almost the exact same thing.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well, once we are no longer, once we're not on the air,
Erica and Adam basically almost said the same stuff.
That's funny. I ran into both of them at the show too on different nights, but I did run into both of them. But yeah, that's funny. Did we all use the "I hope he breaks your heart" caption?
Mm-hmm.
And then the annual AA meeting thing, which was funny.
Yeah, that's funny, Andy. You talked about that we had very similar captions for for that show, because I did run into both of them there, but I can promise you on the record we didn't coordinate that. But anyways.
Adams was the funniest because it didn't tag the venue when he said he first went to his annual AA meeting.
Yeah.
And obviously nobody got it.
Yeah, they're just like, oh, okay, cool, man.
Got to start somewhere, I reckon.
Yeah. But yeah, Road Trip Raleigh, a lot of fun. Definitely should go. All right, next up on the Cold Cans Rundown with the weekly 6-pack. All right, so we haven't talked about this in a while. I was kind of wanted to ask you guys, what have y'all been listening to lately? Like any artist, doesn't have to be anybody new. Maybe somebody you kind of got recently back on, but who's been like somebody that you've kind of been listening to the most?
I've been listening to Haley Witters, and I had also the same record. But also I have fallen back in love with a childhood album, Phobia, from Breaking Benjamin. So I don't know if you listen to that. So that and the one they did for the Transformers movie. So
I know of Breaking Benjamin, but I'm not gonna I know much about
early 2000s. Yeah. It was my heavy rock and roll days. It just popped up.
I can promise you, Logan's not gonna like it.
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not. But yeah, that's what I've been listening to quite a lot this week.
I hear that. What about you, Andy?
I found a video that was like on YouTube. It was like the number 1 hits from like 2009 or 10 or something like that. I got back into some of those like the rock hits from back then, like Fall Out Boy and like Panic at the Disco type stuff.
Oh, it's
Start listening to that a little bit. Yeah, it is.
It's great stuff.
That Fall Out Boy, that was also like number 1 on the radio too.
Which Fall Out Boy song would have been number 1? It's the one with the funky name.
Thanks for the memories.
That's all thanks for the memories. Yeah, that's right. Yep.
They're like got a bunch of letters.
Yep. THX FRMN, whatever it is.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, good stuff back then. So, what about you, Logan?
Well, that's cool. Yeah, lately I've kind of really the last like week or so have gotten really back into what was my favorite record of 2020, and that was Teamwork by Future Birds. I'm a big fan of these guys. I love that album in particular. But, just from, Trippin', Crazy Boys, Killing Ground is my favorite song of theirs. It has what I think is one of their best lines where they say, if I could do it all over again, I'd find one thing you love and let it do you in. But it's like they are like this kind of like cosmic country, kind of like a little bit indie rock, kind of like sound mixed together. Good songwriting, great album from 2020. I think it was on my list of my 2020 top albums. So I definitely implore people to listen to Future Birds. I think they're coming to Raleigh. If the bathroom signs at Lincoln Theater were not lying to me, I think they're supposedly playing here in April. So I hope they are. I'd like to go see them again. I haven't seen them play in a few years, but some guys out of, I think, like Athens, Georgia. But really good music. They are what Wilco could have been if Wilco had stayed with the sound from like AM and being there from like 95 and 96 and not gone off the wall and Jeff Tweedy releasing computer noises and calling the album Star Wars. Like they are what Wilco could have been.
Wilco with less drugs?
Probably, yeah. But yeah, Future Birds, man, they're badass. So if you don't listen to them, check them out. But yeah, so I guess that's the update on what we've all been listening to.
Cool.
So moving right along, Cold Cans Rundown, weekly 6-pack. All right. Something's wrong with my computer. I can't get the soundboard to work, so my bad, guys. Anyways, moving on in. So we have a brand new song coming from some guys that are friends of the show, Mason and the Gen Line. We had them on the podcast, maybe a year and a half ago at this point, something like that. And Kyle, that was right around the beginning of, I think, when you started becoming a regular on the show.
I believe that was my first or second interview. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. But, really cool dudes. They put out like really good music. We had a great time talking to them. And the song's name is Portalis. It's a song that we actually got a sneak peek of after we stopped recording. They played for us over Zoom. So that was cool to be able to kind of like, when I heard it, I got to listen to it early. And then when they released it, I was like, oh, this sounds familiar. But so have you guys had a chance to listen to Portalis?
Yeah, I felt like a big shot when I heard it because I already heard it before.
You're like, I know this.
I knew I heard it somewhere.
Before all you ordinary people got to hear it, it's fine. I felt like a big shot. Yeah, I like the song a lot. Andy, you said Portalis is some little tiny town in New Mexico.
Yep.
Because you looked it up. Yeah, I've never heard of it, but it's a cool name of a town.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah, it's also really clever. He rhymed it with Portalis and Dallas. Thought it was kind of cool. It's probably the only other word in English that rhymes with Dallas, but
callous.
Yeah,
that took Andy all of 2 seconds.
Okay, you just disproved my theory.
Malice, callous.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. You just disproved my theory. But anyway, cool song. I like the intro. What is that instrument at the beginning, Logan?
I'd have to go back and listen and know which one you're talking about specifically, but I do know that it has at certain parts of the song has heavy pedal steel, which I know anytime I get a chance to highlight pedal steel in a song, people that have been listening to us for a while know I'm going to take it.
Yeah, I love pedal steel. I'm always hesitant to say it's pedal steel because I'm not always sure. No, that might just be because I'm not musically and instrumentally inclined at all.
Pretty much the same here.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, that sounds like pedal steel, and somebody's like, no, it's not. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. But yeah, I like it a lot. And I'll probably keep listening to it. It's probably my favorite song by them, in my opinion. Yeah,
it's quickly rising up the rankings for one of my favorites of theirs too. I think that I really like. Now I love the way it sounds. Obviously, I know that's cliche to say, but I do. It's a fun listen. But at the same time, I love what the song to me, what it sounds like it's about. where he's like, he's lamenting how this relationship isn't going to work, even though he wants it to. And then, but he's using like this analogy of like, she doesn't like the cold weather in Portales. So like says she's down in like sunny and warm in San Antonio, how he should have never taken her out of Dallas. But at the same time, there's that line where he says 10 damn inches of snow never bothered me. But then at the end of the chorus, he's like, it's too cold here in this town. But the part I love about that is like, it works in two ways. Yeah, it's probably too cold weather-wise, but with her being gone and him being all alone in the house of just being, brick and mortar, it's the house is cold without, his lady there. So I think that works in both those ways, is the kind of like where my first reaction when I first got out of it, which I really, really like that when somebody writes that in a song that way.
Yeah, I didn't know I got cold in New Mexico.
I have nothing about New Mexico other than it's
never been to New Mexico.
Yeah, I've never been west of Austin, or no, west of Dallas.
Oh, I think I stepped foot in New Mexico at the Hoover Dam. I think there's like a corner where it's 4 states. It's Arizona, Nevada, it's Colorado,
Utah, maybe.
It might be Utah. No, I think it's Nevada. Yeah, it is Utah.
Nevada, Arizona,
and New
Colorado.
Mexico. Yeah. I put a foot in it. That's most of it in New Mexico. So
it gets cold in northern New Mexico, which is where that is.
Yeah. So you're a well-traveled man, Andy. You would know.
Have you ever been to Portales, Andy?
No, I had to look it up. It's in the middle of nowhere. I'm going fairly close to there.
You should ride by, take a picture.
Not that close. It's close-ish.
Yeah. Well, you should just go through there and tell us if it's really cold there.
You guys are gonna laugh, but if I went that close, it's pretty close to Roswell, and honestly, I think I'd go to Roswell.
Well, you act like Colin. I know what Roswell is.
I do know what Roswell is. I'm a nerd.
How do you not know what Roswell is?
I have zero. I've never heard that town in my life.
Dude, it's where the UFO landed.
Yeah, that's where I had the first aliens.
Oh, I guess.
Yeah, you've never gone down a rabbit hole on YouTube.
40s, I believe.
Not, no.
I think it was the 40s where supposedly
47.
Yeah, supposedly an alien spaceship crashed in Roswell, and the army went and picked it up.
Yep.
Kyle's a conspiracy theorist, huge if true.
Yeah, huge. It is true. I believe in aliens. I think they exist. They just won't tell anyone because it'll scare the piss out of everybody.
No.
Be like War of the World stuff.
Well, that's kind of cool. I'm not going to lie. I don't know anything about aliens, but
I honestly am more shocked that you did not know what I was talking about.
Really?
Yeah, really. I am too.
That's extremely popular.
Of the three of us, I'm the one who's never gone on a podcasting or YouTube rabbit hole about UFOs and conspiracies. Andy, you yourself admitted that you like listening to those. Kyle just admitted that he likes to listen to about alien stories. I've never done either of those things.
But that's pop.
Okay.
That's pop culture though in this country.
Yeah, and two, the YouTube algorithm is so good.
Oh, the YouTube is great for like giving you what you've been listening or watching lately. Like they're fantastic about that.
Yeah, I'll be watching a World War II documentary and like 4 episodes later it'll be like, where's World War II? Here comes the aliens.
Yeah, dude. Lately, I'm not gonna lie. Lately, my YouTube algorithm has been nothing but Barstool content. I've watched so much of that recently that it's kind of washed out all the stuff that I normally would get on there. Although I do say the nerd side of me, I get Barstool content, and then the next video would be huge spoilers in Doctor Strange 2 Multiverse of Madness. And I'm like, well, I've got to watch this. And next thing I know is 15-minute video that I'm watching about possible leaks that are probably not true. So yeah, I have some rabbit holes I go down to.
Well, at least our aliens are real.
It's true.
My movies that I'm watching that about are real movies. The leaks might not be.
Didn't Spider-Man just break the record at the box office? Did it pass Avatar? Did it pass Avatar?
Well, I think Endgame already passed Avatar back in 2019. But I don't know if Spider-Man No Way Home passed it or not. I know that last I saw they were at 1.9 billion at the box office, which put it in like 4th or 5th, somewhere in that ballpark. But it did, considering that, the box office has been dead since
huge.
The COVID virus, like that's a huge showing. I mean, I know I was there the night it debuted, so it was like, there are a lot of people out there that like that shit, and I'm one of them. Yeah.
See, when I went to watch Endgame, I was so mad. Not because the movie was bad, but like every time Tony Stark threw a punch, people in the crowd was like, "Yeah!" I was like, bro, shut up, shut up.
What night did you go?
Oh gosh, we went like a day after. Me and Bailey went to Rocky Mount a day after it came out, and we ordered tickets to the 9:30 show, and then they were like, "Oh, we're full." We're like, "Well, we ordered them already." So like, "Oh, we got tickets for the 10:30 show." We're like, "What are we going to do at 10:30 in Rocky Mount on a Tuesday night or whatever?" It might have been a Thursday night. Anyway, but yeah, so we just rode around, went to the mills,
Yeah.
and then got home. That movie is insanely long.
It's like Lord of the Rings in length. It's like 3 hours.
Yeah, but I'll happily sit through Lord of the Rings.
Dude, that's one thing I can't get into. Like,
Oh,
that's why I
I've
always laugh. Like, I firmly believe that the storylines for Lord of the Rings are fantastic. Like, let me
They
put that
are
as a
so
disclaimer.
good.
But I firmly chuckle every time somebody like at work or one of my friends is like, "Oh, you watch that Marvel shit, nerd." I'm just like, you're literally, because this happened at work today, actually. I'm like, you're literally someone who loves Lord of the Rings. My level of nerddom is here. Your level of nerddom is here at like Dungeons and Dragons. That's like the difference. Marvel is pretty mainstream compared to Lord of the Rings.
That's true. I love Lord of the Rings, but if you asked me anything about the lore of it, I would just like,
Be like, hobbits?
yeah, something I couldn't tell you. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
So some of these people go way down a rabbit hole.
Oh, I
I am
know.
hype about Amazon's new series they're doing on it. Spent $450 million on one episode.
Wait, of one episode of what?
It's called Rings of Power. They're doing Lord of the Rings content. Amazon Prime.
So they
they're
spent
doing it.
$450 million on one episode.
Yes,
How are they going to recoup any of that from an Amazon show?
they're not.
tax write-off, bro.
Jeff Bezos doesn't care. He really doesn't. I mean, Lord of the Rings is like one of those. It's one of those things that if you're going to do it, you have to do it right, because you're just going to be cyberbullied into oblivion if you mess it up.
So you're telling me they're like Star Wars fans?
But worse, yes.
But worse. Good gosh, if they're worse than Star Wars fans,
Yeah.
Star Wars fans are pretty damn bad.
So the trilogy of Lord of the Rings that they did in like 2003.
Yeah.
They filmed all three movies back to back to back. So when the first one came out, they were done filming all three of them. So they were really just fucked if people hated the first one. They were all done filming. So yeah, that's how they came out so quick. But yeah,
Somebody was telling me today that they want to release like a director's cut that's of all three movies that'll total of 18 hours.
wow.
That's-
I didn't know they
that's
cut
just-
that much from the movie.
That's insane. If you have 6 hours, if my math is correct, because I'm bad at math, 6 hours per movie.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah, so they're
that's
talking
crazy
about
talk.
they're talking about the original three, not the Hobbit and
Yeah,
stuff that came
yeah,
out.
yeah.
Like, okay.
That's what I was
Right.
told today. I don't know if it's true or not. So
I don't know.
don't tell me I'm giving misinformation because I don't know.
Yeah, we'll
but-
get tagged for misinformation.
Yeah, I'm gonna get flagged for misinformation on Spotify.
While we're here, the Batman looks pretty good.
No, the
Yeah,
Batman
y'all
looks
see-
sick, dude.
Yeah.
That looks good.
The Batman
Yeah.
looks really good. And now DC is confusing though because they're doing like now Marvel's going to start doing this too, I think. But DC is like doing multiple different Batman movies at once right now. And it's like even if the Flash movie is going to have Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck's Batman in it because like apparently the multiverse is a thing in DC as well. But like
course
this
it
one's
is.
going to be a standalone thing that's not connected to the DC EU. But this one, to your point, Andy, it looks really good because they got the what's the vampire movie that the girls like? Twilight. They have the Twilight boy.
yeah.
He's the one. Robert Pattinson's his name. That's what his name is. He's the one doing playing Batman. And I gotta say, like it's like a younger Batman. He's kind of like detective kind of thing, but he also looks kind of like he's a little bit violent. So I count me in.
Even though I believe we ought to just outlaw Marvel for 5 years, I'm in the minority, but I think we ought to make it illegal.
The problem with that is I get why you say that because like fatigue on it, right? It's been like 20 some movies or whatever. But the problem with that is most of the movies that come out besides Marvel movies like suck. Like there's not a lot of good movies that come out these days. So it's like even if Marvel is not as good as Marvel's high watermark, it's still better than a lot of the other shit. That
I think my main beef is the Disney Plus shows. I just can't do it. I'm just no, please stop. I don't care about Doctor Strange, not Doctor Strange, What the hell is the guy's name with the jewel in his
Dr.
head?
Seuss.
Close.
Vision?
Not quite. Yeah, the red guy.
Yeah, Vision.
WandaVision. Yeah, that's it.
No,
Yeah.
his name's Vision. But yeah, the TV
In the show named
WandaVision.
WandaVision. Yeah.
I'm pretty
yeah.
sure that's the Fairly Odd Parents.
Could be.
I think that was a thing on there.
What was?
I think that was Nickelodeon, not Disney.
WandaVision.
No.
Yeah, that was Fairly Odd Parents. I'm pretty sure.
Well, WandaVision is the name
Oh,
of the Disney Plus series.
Yeah, Wanda and Cosmos were the Fairly Odd Parents.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you're right. Deep insight from Andy Forsyth.
Yeah, Andy's like, you know what, Nickelodeon, I used to watch it. Andy strikes me as a rocket power kind of dude.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
What's that little thing you always do with your hands, the rocket power fans?
I was an Ed and Eddie stan.
The Wiggity or something like that?
Yeah, it's like wiggity wiggity wiggity, something like that. Yeah. I
was a
remember
Cartoon
because
Network kid.
I was not a big rocket power guy, but I did watch it some. But I did love.
I was Ed and Eddie.
That was a solid show. But I ain't gonna lie, I used to get confused on which one was which. They had the same fucking name.
So Ed was the tall, gumpy one. Ed with 2 D's was the hat, and Eddie was the short one.
I guess that's the point of the show is they have the same name, but still. One's Ed with 1 D, one's Ed with 2. The second D silent.
Yeah. It's just so funny, man. Oh my god.
You're like, Ed is this one, Ed with 2 D's is this one, and then there's Eddie.
Look, on a side note, I got HBO Max a couple months ago, and I was watching Chernobyl and
Wait, hold on. It's a side note of our side note, but continue.
yeah. I was watching because I wanted to watch Chernobyl, and I started rewatching Game of Thrones, and then I realized they have Cartoon Network on there, and I found Ed, and Eddie on HBO Max, and I went on a bender for like 3 days of just watching Ed, and Eddie. So yeah, phenomenal show.
No, I agree. Solid show. It's just, it's
How did we
confusing.
get here?
We went off a cliff.
Yes, we did. We were talking about Portales. We ended up on movies. So, Andy, getting it back to on topic for this, what is your take on Portales after we went down the Lord of the Rings, Ed, and Eddie, Rocket Power?
Yeah, it's a sick name for a town, and it's a really good town to make a song about. I pretty much agree. Kyle took all my thoughts. The little intro riff, like the upbeat pedal steel type deal, is Liddy Titty.
We need to make that a T-shirt, Liddy Titty.
I should get a hat. Country Cold Cans hat says Liddy Titty.
It's Liddy Titty. That could be the new tagline. Country Cold Cans. It's Liddy Titty.
Hashtag Liddy Titty.
Was that it? I thought I interrupted you. My bad.
No, that was about it.
Oh, I got you. No, good song. Definitely check out Mason and the Gen Line. They've got 2 singles that are currently out on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you stream your music. That also are probably available for purchase on iTunes, if that's still a thing. I don't know, but they have one called Chances Are, and then this is the most recent one, Portales. I'm sure they have a new record coming out soon, so make sure you go to a guy, one of those guys' shows if you can, buy some merch, listen to the music. They're good dudes, great music. So Missing the Gen Line, check them out. All right, moving on in to number 4 on the Cold Cans Rundown Weekly 6-pack. Soundboard works again. Hot damn. All right. Top 3 sodas, fellas. It doesn't have to be strictly diet, doesn't have to be strictly regular, but we were talking about this on Miserable and Reckless the other week. One of them that won't make it for me because I think it's ass, but people in North Carolina love is Cheerwine. I think it's terrible.
Sucks.
But, yeah, it's terrible.
Yep.
It's disgusting. I don't know why North Carolinians, love it so much, but it got me thinking. I was like, we typically do on the weekly 6-pack, a couple of things that are not really about music. I was like, this is perfect. Top 3 sodas. So Kyle, what you got, man? Number 3.
We going in order?
I would say start at 3 and go to 1.
Okay.
So 3, I have Diet Mountain Lion. 2, Diet Dr. Pepper, and the greatest soda of all time is Diet Mountain Dew.
So you went diet all 3. That's out of the box.
Yeah, this sounds like a boomer thing, but I just don't like regular sodas. They burn. I don't know what it is. Just give me
Call
like
me a boomer.
Burn on the way in or out.
in. They give me acid reflux for some reason, and regular sodas don't. I mean, diet sodas don't do it. So
you said it.
Food Line brand.
So you don't really, because Dr. Pepper in general is not really a cola. Kind of is, kind of not. But like, you don't really have any colas on there, so you're more of a light soda guy.
Yeah, yeah.
I would disagree with you on the Dr. Pepper thing. That is definitely a soda.
I didn't say a soda. I said a cola.
Oh yeah,
that's a cola. That's what I meant. That's the cola.
Is it?
I would say it is
dark,
but is it?
I don't know.
Just because it's dark don't make it a cola. Yeah, because Mountain Dew's not a cola.
So is Coca-Cola
what's the definition of a cola?
Like Pepsi Cola, Coca-Cola. It's not called Dr. Pepper Cola.
RC Cola.
Yeah, that's a cola.
Interesting.
We'll have to look this up because I don't know.
Ginger. I'm not a big fan of the ginger in Pepsi.
Yeah.
And everything else is just it gets too sweet. I can't drink sweet things.
Right.
Like I used to like vanilla Coke. Can't do it anymore. It makes me nauseous.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because it didn't sit well in my stomach anymore. I used to like it. But no, the greatest soda of all time is Diet Mountain Dew. It's the most southern redneck thing to say, because there's a joke about rednecks and their Mountain Dews. But I live off Diet Mountain Dew and Zen. But that's what I live off of.
And then when you get done with the Diet Mountain Dew, the Zen bottle becomes a spit bottle for the Zen.
Yep. So
yeah,
you just constantly recycle.
I gotta say though, you're number 3. I really like that you picked Diet Mountain Lightning from the Shitty Kitty Food Line.
Yeah. That's
you
what
went
I'm
with like the yeah. You went with the soda that probably like
you
not
can get
a lot of people have had.
No, you can get a 3 liter for like $1.99. A 3 liter. So
it's a good soda.
That comes in clutch. It is a good soda. It's it's a Food Line brand. I don't even know what's the Walmart version of it.
I would have swore up and down Mountain Lightning.
Mountain Lightning Walmart is the white. Yeah, Mountain Lightning.
Okay. Yeah, you said
Mountain Lion. What'd you say? Mountain Lion.
I heard Mountain Lightning every time you said that.
Yeah, Mountain Lightning is the Walmart Sam's Club brand. Yeah,
but Mountain Lion is from Food Line. I may have said Mountain Lightning, Andy. I ain't gonna lie.
I heard Lightning every single time.
Yeah.
Lightning is not as good as better as Lion. So
yeah. All right. So well, Andy,
that's my stance. I am correct. There's no alternative.
I would not be shocked at all if mine and Logan's are not the same. Maybe in different order.
Potentially.
But I'm going to go number 3. I'm going with the Diet Dew. Number 2, I'm going with Coke Zero. But the black one, I'm not sold on this new one with the orangish reddish logo. Not sold on that yet. Number 1, Dr. Pepper.
Dude, the new Coke Zero is like so much better than the old Coke Zero.
Is that the
I'm not sold on it yet.
Yeah, it is.
They both are.
They don't even really sell the black label Coke Zero anymore. It's all red label now. But it's like
but I'm talking fountain though. Coke is a fountain drink at Chipotle specifically,
and McDonald's.
I don't know that most of the Chipotles have converted from the black label to the orangish looking one.
No, I do.
Are you
saying
orange?
On it yet?
I think it's red.
I don't know what color.
I think it's red,
but it's not. It's like a burnt orange, like reddish. It's not like red, like classic Coca-Cola.
I think it was just red. I think it's just
red.
I
hate the commercials for it.
Look, while we're on this, I have a bone to pick with the fountain drinks. Rock. I love a fountain drink, especially at a gas station when you get like the big gulps or whatever for like $1. But I do not like the Coca-Cola one that's got the touch screen where you can pick like 40 different things.
Those suck. Yeah.
They're disgusting because there's always a kid in front of you that hits like every button. And then it's just like, ugh, it's disgusting.
But sometimes it mixes drinks. It comes out the same nozzle. It's not okay.
Yeah, I don't
like the old fashioned. Just stick your cup under the drink you want, and it comes out.
Yeah, I don't want that freaking like Fanta or Sprite mixed in with my cola. Like, High C. No, I don't want that mixed in with my cola or
even worse.
Mountain Dew.
if you're trying to top off your water bottle, and there's always water, a lot of times the places that have vitamin water, that vitamin water taste does not come out of that nozzle.
Are you taking your water bottle
like vitamin water
and going into restaurants and filling it up for free?
You cheap
all
ass.
the time?
Are you at least
cheap
buying
ass.
something?
Yeah.
Okay, at least you're buying
Oh,
something.
you
If you didn't buy something, that's kind of a shitty move.
But to truck stop, I do it all the time. Like they have their own drink machine, and you get free drinks.
So they have like the Wendy's
Oh, you're a
machine
truck
at
driver.
truck stops now?
Well, no, they all have their own drink machine as well.
No, like
if-
the fountain,
Well, some
right?
truck stops have Wendy's. Yeah,
Like,
it's the same.
yeah.
thing. Some of them have. They got this new like touchscreen thing that's just coming out that I'm starting to see at fast food places too, but it's very similar. And then the old school ones still have, your classic,
Right.
hit the lever one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a lot of the
hit
ones
the
where you hit the lever, it's got the vitamin water. The water is in the vitamin water one.
Yeah.
Taste of vitamin water does not come out of that nozzle.
They have vitamin water on.
Stains
That's
your
true.
water. Yeah.
I reckon.
Vitamin water, Powerade.
Yeah, I've
Interesting.
seen the Powerade combo a lot. That's funny to me though. You're taking your water bottle in there, your personal water bottle, and filling it up. It's not a bad idea.
Where else am I going to fill it up at?
Oh, water fountain.
Yeah.
Telling me they don't have water fountains at truck stops.
I mean,
No. Very rare.
dude,
interesting.
the most elite water fountains are those that are at airports and colleges because they have like it's like this fancy shit where they're trying to
stick
save
the
the
bottle in.
environment. You just stick the bottle right there and just it drops down and fills it for you. But then they
there's
give
a
you
little
like
counter behind it.
Yeah, it gives you the
Yeah.
little counter of how many bottles you save. Like, I really give a fuck. But I was just like, this is cool. Not going to lie. I like it.
Yeah, it's cool. And it stops itself.
It does. It stops itself. Like,
Yeah.
it's like it has a sensor. I don't know how it does it. It's witchcraft, but
Yeah.
it's cool.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I dig
It
that.
only it stops at a certain liter too, because you have like a 40-ounce bottle, it won't fill it up all the way.
Oh, okay.
They're cheaping you out.
Yeah. Dude, what's
Just
most
stick it
interesting
under
to
there.
me about both y'all's picks is y'all want strictly diet and zero sugar drinks.
Try,
That's all
gotta cut it
I
where you can. Gotta cut it where you can.
No, yeah. Like, trust me, I drink mostly that now. I ain't gonna lie. I've been really on a big Dr. Pepper Zero kick. Fantastic drink.
Mm.
Like, I love it.
Never
Oh
had
Oh
been
it.
my
drinking that.
God.
Dude, it's so good.
I
It's
am
so
in-
good.
It is nowhere near as good as Diet Dr.
Like-
Pepper.
Diet Dr. Pepper is superior. It's the sweet one.
Diet Dr. Pepper is good. I'm not gonna say it's not, but I like the Dr. Pepper Zero a little better.
Interesting.
It's okay
Never
to
had
have
that.
bad
Things
taste.
change.
It's true.
But so for me,
Something shouldn't, but okay.
for me, I went a little more traditional with my list, but we're not too far apart. I gotta say that number 3, I think we're the same. Diet Mountain Dew, love Diet Mountain Dew. I still have that in my top 3, even though I haven't drank it as much recently. But I've spent a small fortune on Diet Mountain Dews at Sheetz and Circle K's over the last 5 years. Good drink. I mean, like Kyle said, it's a redneck cliche, but damn, maybe sometimes I'm a cliche redneck. Good drink, like it.
They're on to something.
Mm-hmm. Number 2, these two really can be interchangeable depending on the week. But the way I'm feeling currently right now, while we're doing this, is traditional Dr. Pepper at number 2. Dr. Pepper is a fantastic soda. It's an elite soda. It's one of the best. It's like it's similar to a cola, but it's not. I still don't think it's a cola. I'm gonna have to look that up, but it might be. Could be wrong. But Dr. Pepper
There's
is a great
23
drink.
ingredients.
Yes, it is. Now, I did like it better back when Dr. Pepper didn't have the 23 ingredients, didn't list us. It didn't say 23 logo because it got in my head for a while that all I could taste was the cherry, and I don't like too much of a cherry influence on anything. But I'm over it now. I'm back to drinking that shit. But number 1 is Coca-Cola Classic, as they called it in the early 2000s, but just regular Coke. Man, nothing beats the harshness and the bite of a Coke. The very thing that
And
you
the
don't like.
cocaine.
Yeah, and the thing that you don't like, Kyle, is the thing that I love about Coca-Cola. I hate Pepsi. Pepsi sucks. Unless you want to sponsor us, Pepsi, then you're awesome. But Pepsi is sugary piss water sometimes. I don't mind Pepsi Max, but I just don't like
Pepsi
it.
also makes Mountain Dew.
I know they
They
do, but I'm not talking about the company. I'm talking about that one soda. I'm not a big Pepsi guy, but I do love Mountain Dew. I know, weird, but I like it. Coca-Cola though, Coca-Cola Classic, one of my favorites.
Are you referring to the ones that you can get like at the food line and in the glass bottles, maybe with real sugar? Or are you just referring to like the OG Coke? Not
I'm
the
just
OG,
talking
but
about
like the-
I'm not even talking about glass bottle Coke. And it's not all glass bottle Coke that has real sugar in it. You have to get Mexican Coke for real sugar. It has to say made in
Interesting.
Mexico for it to be real sugar. Otherwise, it's the same stuff they put in the plastic bottles.
And have
I'm just talking
Spanish.
about
The labels
Yeah.
have Spanish on
they
them.
do, yeah. But you can get that on like
Interesting,
the Mexican food aisle at a food line.
Yeah.
I've bought some of them from there for. They're really good. But I'm talking about just regular Coca-Cola. Like I love
okay.
and like to Andy's point, we used to get Coca-Cola at the at Chipotle, one of the best fountain drinks you could get.
They are superior.
It's crisper, it's fresher, it's colder for whatever reason, but it's really good. I'm a Coke guy.
Yeah, it's like McDonald's Coke. They have like a special deal with Coca-Cola, so their syrup is richer
Yeah.
compared to other.
Chipotle's is not way different than that.
Interesting.
That's funny
Never
to
got a
me
Coke
that
at Chipotle.
McDonald's, because I've heard that before too, Kyle. It's funny to me that McDonald's has a special deal with Coca-Cola because it does taste a little different. It really does.
The syrup is thicker. The syrup that, when they go in the drink machine, it's got the carbonation and then this box mix. And then it's a different
Chipotle
mixture.
is just like a little bit more like airy, like a little more airy in the carbonation or something.
Right. It's just crisper.
Airy is probably if you don't understand airy, you're not going to get it. But
I don't know how to explain why a soda can be crisper than another, but it's crisper. So whatever that means, it is.
Nothing's worse than a flat soda. Ugh.
Oh, dude, yeah, so bad. I saw something funny the other day on ESPN 99.9 The Fan. Joe Giglio and Joe Ovies had a commemorative can and bottle from the 1992 Duke Blue Devils national title, and then from the 1982 Carolina one. They had never been opened, right? They opened it on the air and drank both. And the 82 one, they were about to puke. They said it was disgusting. Of course, it came from the Carolina bottle. Probably sucked when they first bottled it. But then you go to the 1992 one with Duke. They said it was drinkable, really flat, no carbonation, but they said it was drinkable. They said that extra 10 years of it sitting there made a huge difference. They're like a soda in 92, you can kind of stomach and it's not terrible. 82, awful.
Yeah, my dad has all the ones from the 80s and 90s at his house. He bought them when they're just sitting on a shelf. They're not opened. I wouldn't dare drink it. But he also has a 6-pack of, it's Budweiser when the Redskins, the Commanders, won the Super Bowl in 91.
Yeah.
I believe it is. It's
I'll let
Budweiser.
Logan near it.
Yeah. I wouldn't drink that Budweiser, but that's even worse.
I wouldn't drink Budweiser if it was brand new.
I can only imagine a 30-year-old Budweiser.
Oh gosh, dude, that would be worse than a 30-year-old Coke.
Yeah, any day of the week. Ugh.
So bad. But yeah. All right. So yeah, anybody listening, make sure you message us. Tell us what your favorite sodas are. Tell us who's right, who's wrong, and maybe somebody can tell us whether or not Dr. Pepper is a cola or not, because I don't know. All right. Moving into number 5 on the Cold Cans Rundown Weekly 6-pack. Super Bowl weekend, fellas. Most people care about the NFL. I'm not a big NFL guy, but I know you guys like it. I'm a casual fan. Fantasy football is over, so my interest in it isn't there as much as it was. But Super Bowl, probably going to watch. The Rams versus the Bengals. Rams are 4.5-point favorites. The over-under is 48.5. So I kind of want to get your guys' take on one, who you're pulling for and who you think's going to win.
This is probably the first Super Bowl probably in my lifetime that I can remember that I really don't care who wins. Stafford put on just a shit team for so long, deserves to be here. Put up ungodly numbers on a crap team. Joe Burrow, hard not to hate that guy. I mean, hard to hate that guy, excuse me. Dude's just a winner. So I like his style. You know, he wears the old school sunglasses.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Bengals to cover that 4.5 because I don't think the Rams beat them by more than 4.5. Even there is no such thing as a Rams home game. The 49ers sold that stadium out last week.
Yeah.
Or 2 weeks ago. The Rams have no fans because LA is a transplant city. Like everyone just moves to LA.
Yeah, it's like DC in that regard.
Yeah, it's just a transplant city. So I don't think the Bengals get beat by more than 4.5. So I would take that bet. That's like I said, I'll be happy either way. First time I really don't have a rooting interest in a Super Bowl, and quite a long time.
Interesting. So you got,
Especially-
if you were betting, you got the Bengals covering the 4.5. Andy, what about you? Who you pulling for? And if you had to bet the 4.5 point spread, Rams being the favorite, who you got?
Oh, I think I'm gonna probably say I'm probably pulling for the Rams. Kind of what Kyle said about Stafford, and also for almost the reason that Kyle said this about somebody a couple weeks ago. I think talking about Burrow. Burrow's a young guy. Stafford's not as young as he used to be, so I'm probably gonna go with the Rams on that one. I don't know. I really feel like it's both a surprise to me that the Rams and the Bengals made it. So I really could see it. I could see it being I really could probably see it being a blowout either way or a close game. The way this postseason's been, though, I'd probably say it's going to be a close game. I'll take. I don't think they'll cover.
Andy just gave us the ESPN
Rams
answer, Kyle.
by 9.
He said it's either going to be a close game or it could be a blowout. Who knows?
It's an
I feel like
it's an unfalsifiable thesis.
I feel like they both almost like lucked into making it. They're like Kansas City basically gave it away. They just couldn't do anything right.
I mean, the Rams have been good all year. So I don't
that's
know.
true.
But
They're loaded. They have a star-studded roster.
yeah. I mean, similar to what you guys said, like, I like Stafford. I really like Burrow too. I wouldn't be mad if either team wins because, I'd like to see Stafford at least get him a Super Bowl. But at the same time, I've grown to become quite a fan of Joe Burrow. I think he's going to be a damn good quarterback over the next decade. But if gun to my head, who I'm pulling for, it'd probably be Cincinnati, just because on the defense, you got B.J. Hill and Jermaine Pratt, who are a couple of pack pros. So anytime you've got some starters on the defense that are from your alma mater, you almost have to pull for them. So I kind of give a slight edge in my fandom for this one game and this 1 week to the Bengals. Now, the reason I think I disagree with both of you, and I think the Rams cover. I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but I think they cover. 4.5 isn't a crazy spread. I mean, if they win by a touchdown, they cover, right? So, but the reason I say that is because the Rams' offense is good. The Bengals' offense is good, but the Bengals' offensive line is not good. And Aaron Donald and Von Miller, I think, are going to have a field day. Joe Burrow is going to be running for his life. So for that, I think the Rams are going to be able to get more stops than the Bengals. So I think the Bengals ultimately are going to lose, and the Rams probably cover and probably win by about 6 or 7.
I feel like Tom Brady still has a decent chance at winning it from somehow.
Never count out the GOAT. What about the over-under of 48.5? Would either of you touch that?
I think
I
it goes
don't know
over.
what that means.
So that means the combined points scored over under 48.5 points.
Yeah, I think they go over.
Over. Yeah, I agree.
I'm kind of with you on that. These are two scoring offenses. So I hate touching over unders in the playoffs. It's a scary thing for me when it comes to NFL playoffs. But I would, if I had to bet on that, I'd say the over. Because I mean,
Has there been a low
24 apiece.
Has there been
both teams?
Has there been a low scoring game the entire postseason?
I mean, the Rams 49ers wasn't that high scoring.
Oh, the Packers 49ers was 13-10.
Yeah.
That was also a 0-degree weather.
Yeah. And both those guys are losers and they're out. So,
yes, true. Yeah. If I had one rooting interest, there's a former East Carolina player on the Cincinnati line, Deontay Smith, I think is his name, or Dante. I can't remember how you say his first name. He's a tackle, but it'd be cool to see him get one.
Yeah.
He was there when I was there. So,
yeah, BJ Hill and Jermaine Pratt were also at State for my last 2 years I was there. But they're like 2 or 3 years younger than me. But yeah, I mean that's cool. So if the Bengals win, we got 2 Pac pros and 1 ECU pro getting a ring.
Yep.
That'd be pretty solid. Good for the home team in North Carolina. But all right, yeah.
Cool
So Super
games.
Bowl this weekend. Has any other final thoughts on the Super Bowl before we move to the final topic? Any commercials? How do you think that's going to be? Halftime show with all the old rappers coming back. Any thoughts?
Who's
I don't
playing?
know.
Dr. Dre's playing, ain't he?
Yeah, I think it's
Eminem
Dre,
and Snoop Dogg.
Eminem, Snoop. Is Jay-Z going to be there? I think he is.
I thought Jay-Z did the last Super Bowl. Maybe I can't remember.
Snoop Dogg, Dre, and Eminem did a bunch of songs together on that Dr. Dre album that people our age know. It's the one with the black cover, and I think it's got a pot leaf on it or something like that. I don't remember the name of the album.
Couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you either. I'm the least hip hop person on this podcast.
I think it's what is it? It's either Still Dre or Forgot About Dre. I think they're both on the album, but I think that had Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, and Eminem on the same song.
Yeah, the only Dre album I know is The Chronic.
Well,
I know of The Chronic. I don't know any of it though.
Well, that's what I mean. I don't know the songs,
pretty old,
but I've heard of it. Yeah,
that's from like 1990 or something like that.
It's an old record. Yeah, it's an old record. Like I said, I'm not a big hip hop guy. Like I've tried getting into it. I just don't like it as much as everyone else does. But I know that you guys listen to it a little more than I have over the years. But like I said, these guys, my older brother and his crowd, he's like, what was he, 36 now? He's they're all excited about it because these are the dudes they listen to, you know. So
yeah.
I mean, good for them, I guess.
I thought at the NASCAR thing at LA this weekend, they had a halftime show and they had Ice Cube play.
Really?
I was unaware that I knew Ice Cube songs.
Yeah.
I know him as an actor.
Yeah, because by the time, you know, we would have been knowing a whole lot of stuff, like Ice Cube was more of an actor than a rapper.
Yeah, he was back in NWO.
NWA.
NWA.
The NWO is Hulk Hogan,
Shit.
Kevin Nash, and Scott Hall.
That's the wrestling. Y'all done corrupted my mind with the wrestling stuff.
One of us. One of us.
Golly day, what have I become?
Carter is going to, when I tell Carter about that, he's going to love that. Number 6 on the Cold Cans Rundown, weekly 6-pack. All right, so Andy brought it to my attention that it is exactly 10 years to the day since Dierks Bentley released his 2012 album, Home. Andy, do you have anything you kind of wanted to mention about that record as to why that was something that kind of stuck out in your mind?
The album or the reason I know that this was 10 years because Dierks told me on Instagram.
Wait, you were talking to him on IG Live?
Yeah. Or no, he called me. He sent me a message. We talk all the time. We're basically best friends. Yeah, we're best friends.
Yeah.
This is for one of the like earliest, I guess you'd say, albums that I can remember basically like when it came out, like the singles off of it. As Logan pointed out before the show, it's probably more to do with my terrible memory. But like I remember when 5150 was the single on the radio. Am I the Only One? Like when that video came out and all that.
Yeah, I remember this album. Also, I think 2012 is about the year that the 2000s country changed to what it currently is. Whatever you want to call that.
Yeah, the bro country bro country era kind of got ushered in that summer. This was right before that because like this was
Florida Georgia Line
with Cruise that summer is kind of what flipped the mainstream format on its head and made bro country really popular for a while.
Unfortunately, but yeah, Diamonds Makes Babies is a funny song.
Dude, great song. It's a Chris Stapleton co-write. Funny about that is
I didn't know that. Interesting. My
younger brother, when he got married when he was 23 or 24. He's 26 now. Yeah, 26. When he told me that he bought a ring, I remember I started grinning. I was like, all right. I was like, you're a little young. I said, you sure you want to get engaged? He's like, yeah, I'm sure. So I went in my room, got my guitar, came back out, and then I went into the first verse and chorus of Diamonds Make Babies. And I looked at him. I was like, well, just remember, that's going to be your life soon. He started laughing. He was like, well, I'm pretty sure that I want to get engaged. I wouldn't have bought the ring otherwise. I was like, well, I was just letting you know.
Yeah, it's a funny song. I like it. Yeah, I like that song a lot.
Yeah, this record's a good record all the way through. I mean, there's a couple songs that are skip songs for me, like Breathe You In and The Woods are kind of ones that I don't really listen to a whole lot, but
I don't even remember The Woods. I don't even know what that sounds like.
It's all right. Breathe You In like comes across as being a little creepy to me, but it's not a bad song, I guess. But
the title is creepy.
Do what? Yeah, I know.
So the title's kind of creepy.
I think there's like a line in that song about like when to wear you like your skin or something. I don't know. It was just kind of
okay. There is absolutely no way what you just said is in that song.
Okay.
I am pretty sure what you said is from the Silence of the Lambs.
How about I'm going to look up the lyrics right now, and we're going to see if I'm wrong, but y'all talk amongst yourselves and banter a minute so I can read this.
Dude, if I want to wear you like my skin is in the song, we're going to might have to cancel this album. That would literally be the creepiest line in the country music history. Probably the history of all of music.
I'm currently listening to it.
I'm reading.
There is
I could be wrong.
Dear God, I hope you're wrong.
That would be a creepy line, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing it yet, but he does say "breathe you in" a lot, which I think is kind of creepy in and of itself. But
but from the bar that you just said, the song probably doesn't even seem creepy anymore.
Yeah, okay, maybe I'm wrong. It doesn't say
breathe
anything
you
about.
in, breathe you in, be so close. Oh,
Did you hear it?
hold on. Say right at 2 minutes in the song.
Hold on. He said you said "breathe you in, be so close." I'm looking in the lyrics trying to find that.
Where you like my skin?
You saw his reaction. He thought he heard something.
Yes, at 2 minutes in the song. Hold on.
He thought he heard something. Trying to find it.
Breathe you in. Want to be so close.
There's something about skin. I remember.
You can wear my skin. You can wear my skin.
Boom! I knew it. I told you. It was in that song.
2 minutes in the song, he said. At 2 minutes, he says, "You can wear my skin."
Suck on that, Andy. I told you it was in there. I told you it was in
weird.
there. I knew
That's weird.
That's not something that I would have just.
Not quite as weird as what Logan said.
It's basically the same as what I said. Like
1A.
Don't get me wrong. We all sometimes have a little bit of a dark sense of humor, but it's not that dark because I knew I was not making that up. I was like, I remember something about skin.
Yeah. Yeah, that's weird. Wear my skin. That's weird. That's weird. That's icky, kind of.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say Dierks didn't write that song or have anything to do with it.
But still, don't you object when you read the lyrics? When you go in studio?
There's no coming back from that one. But we're just gonna. I'm gonna just pretend that like at least he didn't write it.
He was.
At least he didn't come up with it.
He was a co-writer.
Oof.
Oh God.
Oof.
That's probably the one line that he wrote.
Oof.
A word for a third. Am I right?
That's.
Oof.
But that's
weird.
Creepy line and a borderline creepy song aside. the album's good. Like I said, Diamonds Make Babies is good. I really like In My Head. Tip It On Back was a good radio song, especially for the time. All right, I got kicked out for a brief moment, but I'm back. All right, but like I said, yes, it was a that creepy line and the otherwise kind of only quasi creepy song aside, the album's good. Like Diamonds Make Babies is good, very funny song, pretty witty in its songwriting. Tip It On Back was a good radio single. So was Am I the Only One? Because God knows when my friends all started getting married, there was times there I was like sitting there thinking, you know, I'm the only one that wants to have fun tonight. Everybody else wanted to be lame, but it was a good. I don't even know how we save it now, Andy. But otherwise, it was a good record. I do have a story though about Home, though the title track. That song was kind of the catalyst for why Jason Isbell ended up getting sober. So what I've read, anyways, because Isbell apparently he went on Twitter and called Dierks Bentley a douchebag and an asshole. Because he said that he stole that song from him because he said the melody was too similar to Isbell's song "In a Razor Town." You listen to them, it's a little bit similar, but it's not a ripoff. I've heard too many songs that are otherwise blatant ripoffs. That one's not a ripoff. Isbell was wrong, but apparently, he got sober not long after that, and then we got Southeastern, which is a really good record. But I thought that was a funny thing when you brought up Home. I was like, I do remember this because he had some Twitter beef where he was going at Dierks Bentley in a drunken fashion back in the day.
Was that a Twitter beef?
Well, I don't think Dierks really responded.
So it's a one-way beef.
Yeah. But Isbell was not like unknown in 2012, right? Because like he had already been in Drive-By Truckers. He had released some good music on his own, but this was back in his drinking days, and everybody does dumb shit when they're drinking like that. But like he would definitely was like going at him hard, saying that he.
That's more embarrassing to be in a one-way beef than a two-way beef because you're not even getting acknowledged.
I mean, at 2012, I don't really think that Dierks was going to be acknowledging Jason Isbell at that time. Nowadays, it's a little different because Isbell is a much higher profile artist and songwriter than he was in 2012. He still was respected in 2012, just not to the masses like he is now.
Yeah, that's fair.
When You Gonna Come Around grew on me. I wasn't as big of a fan of it then as I am now. That's probably my favorite song off this album now.
Yeah, that is a very good song.
The sound of that song it's very nice.
Yeah, it's one of those. I don't really love a lot of duets half the time with artists because I think they come across as being cheesy and like I don't dig love songs, right? But that one works, and I like that one. So I'm with you on that. It's a good song, one of the better ones on the record.
Mm-hmm.
But touche.
To cap off,
Dierks,
go ahead.
I was just looking at his discography. He was pumping out records,
dude. 2003 to 2009, Dierks was fantastic. Then he took like a little bit of a break. Don't think he put out another full length record until 2012 when Home came out, and then he had a good run with Home and Riser. The album after Riser, I was not a huge fan of. Had some good songs, but not a huge fan of. But it's rebounded a little bit with The Mountain. But his early career stuff, his first 3 records, hold up to this day. Fantastic. I'll die on that hill.
Wasn't the Bluegrass album right before Home too?
Yeah, that was like
in that little like full like kind of break era ish.
Yeah, that was 09 or 10.
To bring the perm back.
The long hair curls and perm he used to have. Yeah,
he needs to bring that back.
I think he did. I think he has long hair again.
Yeah, but I don't think he has it in like a perm as much. But that may have been natural for all we know. But Andy, you ought to get your hair like that.
When I was younger, my hair did look like that.
I remember. I've known you since we were 5.
Basically, at the same time that Dierks' hair looked like that, it's pretty much what my hair looked like.
Yeah, it did. That's what I was thinking about when Kyle said that. I was like, Andy, you ought to grow your hair's already long now, so you just ought to get it in a perm.
Mm-hmm.
My hair just used to curl like that. It doesn't curl like that quite as much.
If anybody that's listening wants Andy to do it in a perm, contact us and tweet at us, comment, whatever, because we think Andy should do a perm.
I agree.
You can be the trucker Andy with a perm.
Let me talk to Dierks, and if he's cool with doing it again, I'll do it again.
There you go.
Yeah, we don't want you to get accused of ripping him off. So.
Very true.
That's a Twitter beef.
Well, make sure you go follow us on social media on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Go follow the YouTube channel, Country and Cold Cans. Click the subscribe and the alert button. Then also check out the brand new website for the both podcasts, Miserable and Reckless, and Country and Cold Cans. That is coldcansnetwork.com, coldcansnetwork.com. We've got a bunch of articles going up. We've got a couple of new writers that have already published their work. I've got probably about 5 or 6 up myself. Got a couple other dudes that have said they're going to be contributing as well. So we're going to have stuff covering sports, music, pop culture, all things to South, a little bit of pro wrestling, some beer, and some barbecue. So that's coldcansnetwork.com. While you're at it, go to the shop, pick up some merch, some hats, some koozies. We got the payment stuff set up. We're ready to rock and roll, help support the podcast because, your boys need a little bit of sponsorship and a little bit of help with some merch. So, coldcansnetwork.com.
And kids, please don't wear anybody else's skin. It's creepy.
It's just
don't
creepy.
do that. That's a no-no.
All right, for this episode of Country and Cold Cans, brought to you by the Cold Cans Network, I'm Logan, sitting here with Andy and Kyle, and we will see you next week.
Take care, guys.
1, 2, 3, 4.